Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to another presentation of high school football on Scalooza.com. Excited to be with you for tonight's matchup between the Tooele Buffaloes, who have traveled down south to face the Snow Canyon Warriors. Thanks for being with us. I am Travis Brunstead, and I am joined by my broadcast partner, Dustin Roberts, in what should be a fun and exciting first round of playoff action.
Sure should be. Thanks, Travis, for having me tonight.
Yeah, looking forward to it. An interesting matchup of these two squads who perhaps in some ways, for Tooele, the regular season maybe didn't live up to what they had hoped, but they are here. Snow Canyon has had a surprisingly good year in the South play that maybe they didn't expect to get quite this kind of a seed, but nonetheless, they're hosting a first-round playoff game, and they can't ask for much more than that.
I was looking at their record, their conference record, and they actually did fairly decent against most of the teams, so this should be a pretty good game tonight.
Yeah, and Tooele comes into this by the same token. They've won their last two games. They struggled early on, but they did win their last two games against Ben Lomond and Uinta. Uinta, of course, is playing across town at Desert Hills tonight. So, they beat... they had two good outings in a row and put up a lot of good points against Ben Lomond last week.
Right. I think this should be a really good game. You never know in a playoff game.
You don't.
A traveling team could come down and be prepared and have a good playoff scheme. And Snow Canyon, on the flip side, has been a really solid football team this year.
Yeah, they really have. So it should be a lot of fun. And I guess the best part for both squads, and you can say this for any of the teams, we talked a little bit before the game how Hurricane was actually up by 10 points clear up in Bear River at halftime. And the magic of whatever happened in your regular season, it doesn't matter. It's a new season now. It doesn't matter who did what. You've got a shot from here on out.
It's one and done. It's the playoffs.
It is.
It's what makes it great. It's all about execution at this point.
Yeah, no, that's totally the truth. And what your scheme is, I think sometimes that gets looked at too much. It's how you run the scheme, how you execute it, and it's about matchups. And these two teams, hopefully will have a pretty good competitive matchup. So I'm sure Tooele didn't want to drive all the way down here just to roll over. But quickly, we do want to give a shout-out to those who are bringing you this game tonight. We'll be sharing more information about them throughout the night as well. But in the meantime, it looks like Snow Canyon is going to be receiving the opening kickoff. So we'll see what this Warrior offense can do.
Going to show it early, isn't it?
It is. Snow Canyon, if you are unfamiliar, is in the green and gold uniforms. Tooele is in the purple and white. Of course, I look forward to the day. I do think it would be cool to see a purple buffalo.
I would like to see a white buffalo. Who cares about the purple buffalo? Let's see the white one.
Yeah, that would be... How about a white one with purple eyes? That'd be kind of freaky. But I always wonder what the story is behind the color schemes. You get schools like Orem, who's the Tigers. The other colors are blue and yellow.
Right.
I've yet to see a blue and yellow tiger. But anyway, I guess you need a mix. It's just like Skittles. You need a little bit of everything.
You never know what you're going to get. Hopefully we get a good football game tonight.
Yeah, indeed, we hope to. So, opening kickoff brought to you by Hinton Burdick CPAs. And it's taken at the 15-yard line up across the 25. And it looks like that's where the forward progress will end. So the Warriors will start first and 10 there. And we'll get underway. Snow Canyon coming off of a disappointing loss at Dixie High School last week. The region champion Flyers finished their regular season undefeated. And we'll look to play next week. And we'll talk a little bit more about that throughout the night. But right now, Snow Canyon will get things started. First and 10 from their own 25. Out of the gun. Here's a handoff. It is Connor Perry over the right-hand side. About a maybe a 6-yard gain on first down.
Gains about 5 to 6 yards.
Tackled by 32, Austin Proctor.
Proctor didn't gamble.
Proctor didn't gamble.
He made the tackle. So simple little dive play over the right-hand side, picking up about 6 yards on a crisp night. It's not too cold yet. It's pretty
Perfect night for
comfortable.
football.
We'll see what we're saying in a couple hours, but
Yeah.
it's good so far. Out of the gun again. Another handoff. Again on the right-hand side, maybe a yard, not much there. Early on, you kind of expect things to start a little bit conservatively as both teams sort of feel things out. You have an opportunity to look at tape throughout the week, but that's different than live game situations, isn't it?
Right. We've talked about it a little bit before this game. Both teams are a solid ground game. They don't throw the ball a lot, so we're going to see a lot of that hitting the ball hard up the middle at first and trying to open things up.
Yeah, a lot of ground and pound. So on third down, about 3, once again out of the gun, little reverse, and a hole. Tripped up is Zach Kennedy, but not before he picks up a first down, picks up about 6. Gets up to the 37-yard line, first down for the Warriors, moving the sticks. And really when you run this kind of an offense, moving the sticks is what it's all about. It's not about getting fancy or too cute. It's just about keeping the chains going, right?
Exactly. Those little traps are pretty amazing plays when you get the line blocking down.
So first and 10. A little option play to the right-hand side. Decent pickup there on the pitch to Connor Perry. Connor Perry, the leading ball carrier for the Warriors on the year. Last week he had 15 carries for 66 yards. So not real flashy, but Dixie's pretty tough. But on the year, Connor at 712 yards. 8 rushing TDs, which I think was third in 3AA, so not too bad. And a fake.
To the outside.
No, it's Kennedy, out on the perimeter. Picks up a couple, so it'll be third and manageable. First time we've kind of seen things strung out to the perimeter, right?
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to establish a little bit of a run game up the middle and then pop it outside there, which is really smart at this point.
Yeah, you got to mix things up. You run it up the middle to set things up on the outside, so.
Or a little bit of play action.
Snap, quarterback, keeper up the middle and nothing doing. I think he lost a yard. And again, for Warner Rigby, this is his first football game in several. He was injured early on in the season and has been out. We thought he might play last week. He didn't. And now we see for the first time him playing, and how much of that is going to be him shaking the rust off? You got to wonder.
Well, that was a beautiful tackle by Nick Schwartzman, the junior for Tooele. He filled that hole pretty well.
So on fourth down, there's no punter deep. I'm not sure Tooele's caught it. Now the punter drops back. That was interesting. They had kind of an interesting situation there. I don't think Tooele really realized what was going on, and Snow Canyon opted to punt it anyway. So they punt it, and the Warriors will take over from their own the Buffaloes will take over from their own 29-yard line. So move the chains a little bit, but not the kind of first drive I think the Warriors wanted.
No, I think they're a little disappointed on that. They had a short distance for first down there, and they couldn't quite get it with that quarterback keeper.
So it looks like they're probably going to move Rigby slowly into the passing game. We didn't see him throw the ball there on that drive, but...
Travis, it doesn't look like Tooele throws the ball a lot either.
No, they don't either.
Pretty majority of a rushing team there.
Handoff left side and a nice-looking run.
And number 4, Ryan Brady.
So Brady picks up about 9. A nice-looking carry there on first down, just underway here at Snow Canyon High School. Again, no score. Some interesting formations here for Tooele, kind of mixing things up. 2-man backfield, and they hand it off to the fullback. Nothing doing on second down, a loss of a yard. Nice penetration there by the defensive line for the Warriors.
Loss of about a yard on the play, brings up third down.
Yeah, Brady, Sargent, and Staley on the tackle there.
Yeah, Sargent, the leading tackler for the Warriors on the year. been a nice contributor on defense. So 3rd and short for the Buffaloes now, and we'll see what tricks they may have up their sleeve. 1 man wide to the right, otherwise tight formation. Handoff up the middle. Yeah, it looks like he's maybe a half yard short. May depend on the spot, though. It's going to be pretty close, actually. See if they call for a measurement here.
Pretty good eyeball from up here. It looks like they're about half a yard short.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're going to... Yep, they're going to call for a measurement here. So it looks like they... Initially, I actually thought the spot was a little shorter than what it turned out to be, so...
It's a little hard to tell from up here, but it should be close.
Yeah, definitely close. How close? Well, that's why we let the drama play out.
Let's check out your calibrated eyeball here.
Whoa! I think it snapped.
Hey!
The chain popped off the
The
yard
official
marker.
had a little extra juice on that one.
I
double stretch.
hadn't seen that one before, so.
That looks like a home chain right there.
Looks like it's a few feet short.
So they're reconfiguring again. It's going to be 4th and inches.
Make it about 4th
So we'll
and
see
less
what
than a
Tooele
foot
does
to
here.
go
Looks
for
like
the
they're going to go for it. Just shy of the 40. Interesting call.
It is
First
interesting.
gamble early on.
Especially this early in the game.
And on your own side of the field here. Well, let's see if they try to draw him off sides first, though. So the Buffs get up to the line. The quarterbacks, I don't know. Step back for a minute. Maybe he's discussing post-game Dairy Queen options. Quarterback keeper, and he's got it. He gets up to about the 41, 1st down to Tooele. Pretty simple, but he had a good hole.
It was a great play.
Take that between the center and the right guard and just pushed it forward and got the 1st. So Tooele moves the sticks for the first time, and it'll be 1st and 10 from their own 41. Here at the 7-minute mark of quarter number 1 here on Scalooza.com, and some jumping. I think Snow Canyon might have been the guilty parties.
It looks like it.
Flags on the play.
Dead ball offside.
Offsides. Yep.
Action on the Warriors.
Warriors got a little anxious, and they've made it a little easier now for Tooele. So it'll be 1st and 5. Our first penalty of the game, and that so oftentimes is one of the deciding factors in these games, isn't it?
You know, the penalties and the turnovers are going to be 2 of the main factors in this game.
Snap, play action, back to pass, pump fake. Now the keeper, up the gut. 1st down across Snow Canyon territory. Finally taken down at the 41. A nice looking play.
Jake Brady on the keeper, spinning his way for a gain of about 11. All will be spotted inside the Warrior territory.
By Jake Brady, quarterback.
Okay.
1st down for the Buffaloes.
1st down nonetheless for Tooele.
Great run. He pulled that down. He had nobody there. Saw the middle open up, and he took off.
Yeah, Brady did a great job there. Handoff to the fullback up the gut.
Doing.
Yeah. Pretty much shut down at the line of scrimmage, just not a hole there. You know, just doing the eyeball test, sometimes that's something that when we do these games we like to talk about a lot. You gauge things kind of by the eyeball test, and early on, not a real decipherable difference in terms of what's going on at the line of scrimmage in terms of size.
No, they look pretty similar
They're pretty
in size.
evenly matched, yeah. So 2nd and 11 for the Buffaloes. Brady back to pass. Had a man wide open in the flat and incomplete on the pass attempt to Ryan Brady.
Bringing up 3rd down.
Goes for naught, so it'll be 3rd and long. It's too bad. He had quite a bit of space in front of him, didn't he?
He had a little running room if he'd have caught that.
So, and I'm sure with it being a playoff game, Brady's probably a little nervous early on.
probably a little amped. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, these Bradys are the brother of Kyle Brady, who also played for the University of Utah at one point.
That's right, now that you say that. Of course, their uncle Tom Brady. Haha.
That's my boy.
Flushed out in the pocket and brought down. He did a lot of running, but only gained about a half a yard. And
Sargent with that tackle.
so all for naught on the run by Jake Brady.
You know, Sargent, he's a good-looking little linebacker.
Sargent definitely soldiered on in that play.
He's got a great nose for the football.
So 4th down, Tooele in a punting formation now. Now Zach Kennedy back at about the 10. High snap, high punt, but not a lot of distance on it. And clunks right out of bounds. Not a real good net there. Winds up being about a 16-yard net on the punt. So not what you hope for when you're going to, you know,
try and pin someone deep.
Yeah, I was going to say, hindsight's 20/20, because obviously if you know that that's what it's going to wind up being, you would have probably just gone for it and thrown it deep, seen what could happen. So.
Hurricane High School in the semifinals tomorrow at 12:30.
So, Snow Canyon takes over. 1st and 10 from their own 25.
Ooh.
Big hit in the backfield on the right side. Tooele's defenses look sharp thus far, haven't they?
They really have. What number do we have there? Number 49?
Nick Schwartzman.
Nick Schwartzman, the junior for Tooele, put a pretty nice hit on there.
Gotta love that name, Schwartzman. It sounds like a good, like a Jewish pastry or something. I'm having some Schwartzman here, huh?
Well, he glazed that boy.
He did. So 2nd and 13. Handoff up the gut.
Right up
nice
the middle.
hole for Kennedy. Into the secondary. One man to beat. Could not beat him, but he gets into Tooele territory down to the 44-yard line on a nice run by Zach Kennedy.
Great run. Nice blocking in the middle. Had a big hole to run through.
Yeah, he once he got past that line, it was all him, though, and did a great job to turn on the Jets and get a huge gain.
It's a big momentum booster right there.
Yeah, it really is.
Could get Snow Canyon rolling here at home.
So 1st and 10 now from the Tooele 44 for the Warriors. Low snap, handoff once again to Kennedy. Nice moves there in the backfield and picks up about 8 yards. 4th quarter has just started up in Bear River, and the Hurricane Tigers lead 31-26.
31-26 Hurricane?
Yes, so it's a closer game than it was, but Hurricane led 24-14 at the half. And we will continue to give you updates throughout the night on different scores. The Desert Hills Uinta game was getting started just the same time as ours. Cedar and Park City, I didn't see an update, but Cedar was up 9-6 at the half. Back to pass, throwing it deep. Rigby's got a man, and
laid out. That was a nice play.
Just beyond the fingertips.
Incomplete pass brings up 3rd down.
Incomplete, but a nice effort.
Great play call. Stretches the field.
It really was, and they'd set it up well, but Travis Feller, the intended receiver, and he made a great effort to try to get it, but just about a yard too far, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was right there.
So 3rd and we'll call it a long 3, short 4 here. Little reverse play, nothing doing, and a nice tackle.
Chalmers, the ball carrier.
Nice play.
It really was. Nathaniel Reynolds on the tackle, and he did a great job breaking through that Snow Canyon line. So 4th down, and Snow Canyon looks like they are going for it here. 4th and 4 in Tooele territory at the 37-yard line. Rigby takes the snap, hands it off to Kennedy on the little counter over the left-hand side, taken out of bounds at the 32, and that'll be a Warriors first down.
Ball will be spotted at the
Did a great job to get out on the perimeter and make some things happen.
And that gain is enough for another Warrior.
You can hear the crowd.
I enjoy watching them go back to the outside there.
Yeah.
Number 44 stuffed him on the last play. This time they got him inside, trapped him, and he came back out with a nice run on the outside there to the left.
So timeout on the field for Tooele. We'll take a quick timeout ourselves here on Scalooza.com. And we're back with you. Thank you to Brad Haar Law Offices for being one of our terrific sponsors tonight. 1:58 left here in the first quarter.
Just heard over the PA that Cedar has a 3-point lead over Park City with a couple minutes left in the game.
Sounds like not much has changed there.
No, sounds like
But I don't trust him, considering he announced the Hurricane game
He sure
incorrectly.
did.
So, rolling out to the right, Rigby throws it over through his man. He had a man open. Not able to cash in there.
Rigby's pass thrown behind Cole Moore.
2nd and 10
Bring up second down
for the Warriors.
Just needs to take another second there, get his feet set, and throw that ball. A little bit off his back leg there.
And and again, we talked about this is his first game in several weeks, so he's certainly going to be shaking some rust and nerves off. I mean, granted, he's been at practicing, but you know,
it happens.
It does. 2nd and 10, handoff right side. Zach Kennedy had a nice looking run. Again, it was sort of a one-man to beat type situation, and Ryan Brady able to bring him down.
Snagged him by the shoelaces there.
That's why it pays to use Velcro shoes, I've always said. I think he announced it incorrectly because that's what the Deseret News has listed as a Bear River lead, but I have a very reliable source, which is the Hurricane High Score Center system, which has it much differently. Handoff to the right side. Yeah.
For all the Region 9 teams, I'd like to see them all win tonight.
Absolutely. Well, of course, we're broadcasting for both sides.
And we'd like to see Tooele also do well. See what happens when you get a rookie on the radio?
That's right. We just want to see good games is what we want.
That's right.
Actually, I will say, you know, Mike Butler, my usual partner, and I, we did a game up. Hurricane played Tooele, was it last year or the year before? I think it was the year before last. But snap for Rigby, going over the left-hand side, brought down hard. And boy, when you're coming off of an injury, you hate to see
Austin Proctor.
Yeah.
Great tackle on the outside.
Stopping the Warriors. Shy of that first down.
So it'll be shy of the first down. Oh, and it's taken over on downs.
That was fourth
down. Yep.
31.4.
But I was going to say, we did a game up in Tooele a couple of years ago, and I've got to say it was their homecoming game. The entire town was decked out in purple with signs on every business. The atmosphere was phenomenal. It was really a neat place to be. And the homecoming parade went all the way through town. It was pretty awesome. We were really impressed.
It's like we got a little procedure here.
Yep. Buffaloes, a little too anxious on starting the stampede there. So it will be 1st and 15 now with the ball moved back to the 19-yard line.
been kind of a bend don't break first quarter here.
That really is, isn't
Both
it?
teams are allowing a little bit of yardage on the ground, but they're not giving up the big play.
They send them back to the huddle. We'll update you on some different scores throughout the night. In 3A play, Judge defeats North St. Pete 35-0. That's a final. Just went final, I should say. And for some reason, we just have no desire to start this play. Oh, they adjusted the clock from 29 to 32 seconds. That was the issue, so. So 1st and 15 from their own 19, and Tooele takes the snap, handoff left side, and gets back to about the original line of scrimmage on the carry, so it'll be 2nd and 10. I think that will probably be the last play of the first quarter. And yeah, both teams now heading to the sidelines with under 10 seconds left. So at the end of the first quarter, no score between Tooele and Snow Canyon. We'll be right back here on Scalooza.com. Back with you here on Scalooza.com. Travis Brunstead and Dustin Roberts here at Snow Canyon High School. No score after the first quarter of the first round of 3 AA playoff play. Tooele with the ball at their own 24-yard line. It's 2nd and 10. Handoff right side and a huge hole. Gets the first down and across the 40-yard line on a big run.
That was a great play. They faked the handoff up the middle. Everybody crashed, and they handed it off outside there.
Andrew Spendlove on the carry. And he spent up some good yardage there, too.
He did.
1st and 10, ball now at the 42-yard line of the Buffaloes. Snap, carry left-hand side, and a big hit.
Sargent.
Grady Sargent with the penetration.
Grady Sargent put a real nice pop on the ball carrier. I think that was Ryan Brady again. He got up slow, too. That was a heck of a hit,
That was a
wasn't it?
nice hit.
That's a good old-fashioned stick your helmet right in the breadbasket and punish them.
That's a linebacker winning it right there.
Winner.
Winner, winner.
Chicken dinner, that
Yes,
sounds
sir.
good. 2nd and 10, back to pass. Heaving it downfield. He's got a man, but it's thrown out of bounds. Boy, it's been interesting with both of these offenses. They've had some guys open in the long passing game and just haven't been able to
connect.
Yeah. Missed it by that much on, it seems like, each and every case. So
If we were playing horseshoes tonight, we'd both be winning.
Horseshoes and hand grenades, right? We don't condone war, though. It's not a Scalooza thing.
No.
3rd and 10. Handoff up the middle and not much there. Yeah, on 3rd and 10, the short dive play is not oftentimes your most secure call, but maybe that's what they figured Snow Canyon was thinking. So. 4th and 9. And Tooele punting. Kennedy back deep for the Warriors.
Whoa. A little confusion there with Snow Canyon.
Clearly, it looks like the Warriors may have burned up a timeout.
They did.
Warriors
So we'll take a timeout too.
with
0-0
1:13
here at
remaining
Snow
in this
Canyon.
quarter.
Back with you. Punted.
Kennedy calls for
Got back a
the
little late, but you didn't really miss anything but a fair catch. So no huge drama. Save that for your mama. So Snow Canyon takes the fair catch, and they will start this drive from about the 22-yard line, it looks like.
Well, from their own 22.
Their own 22.
See if either team here can get their offense rolling here this quarter.
Yeah, it hasn't been a real, we've seen a few first downs here and there, but not really any kind of an extensive drive.
No, they're having a hard time with the execution here this half. Or it could be that the defenses are both flying around hitting.
Yeah, some of both. And like I say, when in the playoffs, you get a little bit of nerves, and sometimes it takes a minute to shake that off and for teams to kind of find themselves. But so, 1st and 10 Warriors. Out of the gun, it's Warner Rigby. Takes the snap, handoff up the middle. Pick up of about 3. Horlocker on the carry.
Mm-hmm.
Second down, Warriors.
So it'll be 2nd and 7. Looking up a little score update here.
Horlocker's a senior.
Handoff again up the middle, and pickup of, it looks like another 3 there.
Horlocker again.
Was it? Under 5 minutes left in Bear River. Hurricane leading 38-26 now.
38-26 Hurricane.
Bring up 3rd and 4 for the Warriors.
That's going to be an impressive win for them going on the road in the playoffs, considering they had a struggle this season to be consistent.
Looks like Cody LeBaron having a good game up there. He's got 107 yards rushing and a touchdown.
Wow, that's really great for Cody.
Yeah, good kid. Rolling out to the right, Rigby throws completed out to the 30, but it's as much as he ran and as far as he threw it, he only gained about 1.5 yards, so
Not quite enough.
certainly not. So 4th down, and that'll bring up another punting situation. Well, maybe if nothing else, the kickers will get their legs warmed up, huh?
See for Snow Canyon, who's the kicker here? Number 9, Blake Day.
Clean snap. Punted, kind of a low knuckler. Takes a decent bounce and goes out at about the 39-yard line. So not horrible field position for Tooele to start this drive. Whoa. Our first big upset comes in 5A. Davis, undefeated all year, loses to Pleasant Grove.
Davis lost to Pleasant Grove.
Lost to Pleasant Grove.
Wow, that's a big
22-15.
upset there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But Pleasant Grove's been solid all year too, so that's no gimme in the first round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pleasant Grove is in a really tough region
They
too,
really
so
are.
if you're a 4 seed in a region that's that stacked, sometimes it's hard to.
In fact, if you remember, Pleasant Grove started the year out really strong.
Nice run. Once again, it's the big fullback, Spendlove, taking it into Warrior territory down to the 44-yard line. So Spendlove, he's got 2 carries and good chunky yardage on both of them.
Looks like Tooele's trying to pick up the pace a little bit of the game.
Spendlove goes in motion. Handoff up the middle and not much. Boy, outside of the Spendlove carries, they really haven't been getting much on the ground lately here.
No, Snow Canyon's been solid in the middle. Minus 2 or 3 runs there.
Cedar has won.
What's the score to that Cedar game?
Last I looked, it was 16-13.
16-13.
I just saw a tweet that said that they won, but it didn't say a score. So, handoff left side. Nothing doing. Gets back to that original line of scrimmage. Or, excuse me, they get a gain of 1. So it'll be 3rd and 7 for Tooele.
Tell you, Travis, this is turning out to be a pretty good defensive football game. The first team to make a mistake in the secondary there, or that second level in the linebackers, is going to be possibly the team to lose.
Yeah. So it looks like 3:34 left in the half at Desert Hills with the Thunder leading 12-0. Pass completed, and that's going to be a first down and a flag in the backfield. I think we might have a roughing call.
Didn't see what happened, but it looks like number 84, Brock Staley, is kind of questioning the call with the official.
Yep, it is a roughing call. So they pick up the first down, and then they're going to tack another 15 onto that. And Tooele is really going to be in their first kind of prime scoring position here of the game.
You know, we kind of talked about this. These kind of mistakes could be the ones that hurt you in this game. Snow Canyon needs to keep their composure at this time, and Tooele needs to keep doing what they're doing.
Personal foul, roughing the passer penalty against the Warriors.
I really like the tempo of Tooele right now. I think they've picked up the pace offensively. They're starting to snap the ball a little bit faster, and it's putting Snow Canyon on their heels a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's changed things up just enough to have Snow Canyon a little wobbly for the time being. So Tooele in the red zone now at the 17-yard line of Snow Canyon. 1st and 10. Snap. Handoff right side. Nothing there. Second effort. I think gets him at least back to the line of scrimmage, maybe.
It looked to me like his own guy kind of gave him a pick-me-up there and carried him for a yard.
Sometimes that works. Just ask Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush got a little help there in USC, huh? In fact, if I didn't know any better, I think the Tooele kid tackled him.
Play action pass. Got a man. Oh, and off the hands of the intended receiver.
Nice defensive play by number 20.
Josh Barnes almost had that ball.
Yeah.
Pass is incomplete.
Nice looking throw.
Yeah, Barnes would have had it right in the 1st and goal position there, but instead it's going to be 3rd and 9. Tough break there. Got a pretty good stick.
He did get hit, but that ball was right on his hands. Those are the type you should be catching.
Right. He was going to get stuck either way. My dad used to yell at me about that. You're going to get hit either way. You might as well catch the ball.
Might as well get something good out of it.
If it hit me in the hands and I didn't bring it in, that was 10 years of hard labor.
That's right.
Okay, not really. Handoff up
reverse.
the middle. Yeah, it was Spendlove. And is only going to pick up a couple, so it'll be 4th and 7, and Tooele sends out the field goal team.
Holding up that middle, brings up 4th down for the Buffaloes.
So we'll see what Cody Lemon can do. See what kind of range he's got here.
32-yard field goal, number 39, Nathan Fisk.
Got a 32-yarder here. Low snap, did a good job to haul it back in. It's got the distance, and it
it's
is good.
Nice looking kick.
So Tooele puts 3 on the board, 3-0 Buffaloes early on. Again, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors tonight. State Bank of Southern Utah, Hinton Burdick CPAs, the law office of Brad Haar, and of course Team D Auto Sales. Happy to have them on board with Scalooza. If you're just watching us for the first time, you want to kind of browse around Scalooza.com. A lot of awesome things going on. Online yearbooks, really going back quite a ways for quite a few schools. Good stuff to check out. A lot there for you. And the best part about Scalooza, you know, normal places you'd shop online, Best Buy, Amazon, things like that. If you're logged in under your school, every time you make a purchase, 5% of that purchase goes to the school. So you can watch games, buy the stuff you'd normally buy on Amazon, buy in
save
books.
money.
Yeah, well, and you're giving money to the school that they can do whatever they want with. It doesn't go necessarily to athletics or anything in particular. It's whatever the school decides they want to do with it to benefit your kids. So awesome program here on Scalooza.com. A nice return out across the 25 up to the 26-yard line, and the Warriors will start their 1st and 10, and now for the first time trailing.
You know, Travis, though, if you're Snow Canyon, you're looking at how bad that last series of events went, and you're feeling pretty good about coming out of there with 3 points.
Yeah, that personal foul really could have hurt them.
It really could have. And they had a lot of momentum. They had a couple of nice rushes. The drop pass, which was huge.
Sure.
So now let's see what Snow Canyon can turn around and do here.
So 1st and 10 Warriors. 5:48 left. They can still kind of keep it on the ground a bit, but they do have to be a little bit mindful of the clock at this point too. So option play, pitch to Perry, out on the perimeter and brought down at about the 32-yard line. So a decent pickup, about 4 yards on the carry.
Run out of bounds by Ryan Brady. Gain of about 5 on the play. 2nd down, Warriors.
5:30 and counting. Glad to be with you. Of course, the winner of this football game gets the rich reward of next week heading north to play Juan Diego.
You know, you never know in the playoffs.
No, you don't.
You look at Dixie last year, went up to Juan Diego, or played Juan Diego in Rice Eccles.
Yeah.
Had no business being there with them and ended up winning. So you never know.
Yep, that's right.
You got to peak at the right time.
Left-hand side, big run for Zach Kennedy. 1st down, up to the 43-yard line. Good-looking run there.
Great run.
Kennedy with about a 10-yard gain on the play. Takes that ball.
Got a 10-yard run there for Zach Kennedy. Zach Kennedy, one of the 2 main options throughout the year for this Warrior team. It's been him and Connor Perry, and they've pretty much had to carry the load once Warner Rigby went out early on in the season. So 1st and 10. Pitch,
Ooh.
right side, huge hole, into the secondary, the 20, the 10, brought down inside the 5. 1st and goal, Warriors. A
nice run.
Nice run by Horlocker. Gain of about 41 on the play.
Took that quick pitch, got into the open field in the secondary and cut across the field. Great play, good vision.
Boy, and if you're Tooele, they've played such good defense here in the first half. Got a little momentum getting on the scoreboard, and now you don't want to go into the locker room trailing after building that momentum. So, and a whistle on the field. Timeout, Snow Canyon. We'll take a quick timeout ourselves here on Scalooza.com. Back with you here on Scalooza.com. 4:25 left here in the first half. First and goal for the Warriors from the 2-yard line. Out of the gun. Keeper, touchdown Warriors! Warner Rigby takes it in from 2 yards out. And it is 6-3 pending the extra point, and boy, how the momentum can shift quickly.
That was great penetration up the middle there. The linemen did their thing. Warner Rigby just ran in right behind him. You got to wonder if Tooele is just a little bit deflated after that big run, after scoring and thinking they had all the momentum. That's the way high school football goes.
Certainly. Extra point attempt, snap, good. Kick, no good.
No good.
Boy, and when you talk about a field goal game, it's those extra points can sneak up and make a huge difference in the end, can't they?
You want those in a playoff game.
Yeah.
Especially a low-scoring game.
Yeah.
Especially a playoff game, because you just never know.
So, boy, I'm looking over some other playoff games. Rough night in 5A for Region 1. Region 1 goes 0-4.
Whoa, Region 1's normally very tough.
Layton, Northridge, Davis, and Syracuse all losing.
Syracuse lost also.
They played Lone Peak, who's pretty tough in their own right, so. But we can break some of those games. All of the 5A games are finals except for the Alta-Taylorsville game. That one is at the half, but Alta's up huge.
Yeah.
Some other interesting games going on again. Cedar wins 23-13 is the final.
23-13, so they tacked on another touchdown there at the end.
Desert Hills still leads 12-0. Kick return by Tooele, brought up to about the 25-yard line, so not a huge return, but...
Looks like Chance Thorkelson had the tackle there.
So they'll have it 1st and 10 with 4:13 left. Not a ton of time, but...
Where they will have a first down with 4:13 remaining in this half.
That breeze is a little bit chilly here tonight.
It sneaks up on you, doesn't it?
I'm a little bit wimpy, I guess.
Well, you're not the coldest one. I see an ambulance over there.
Oh, there you go.
Somebody's colder than we are. Flag thrown in, a little jumpitation at the line.
Jumpitation, that's a good word right there.
You know, Dustin?
That's new football terminology that I had not heard before.
If you look over the course of time, the best broadcasters, you know, Pat Summerall, Brent Musburger, what is their signature?
Cosell.
They made up their own words.
That's right. Okay, I'll give it to you. All we need to do is get you one of those markers like old John Madden. We can have you just coloring all over screens.
Whap!
You think we could do that? Yeah.
Boom!
Oh, boom. In fact, every time I see a good tackle, I need to hear something good. Kapow.
Kapow. That's more like, 1960s Batman.
Batman.
Handoff, up the gut, breaking, got a little bit of daylight, got back around the original line of scrimmage, might have got a little bit past it, so picks up about 6. So it'll be 2nd down and 9 now. Clock still ticking though, under 4 minutes to go, as you can see on the screen. So we apologize, our clock cam got knocked off its rod. Oh, there you go. The magic of Aaron, our fantastic producer, into the secondary, and a huge carry for Tooele into Snow Canyon territory, taken down at the 40. Actually, they gave him a very favorable spot and put it at the 38.
They really did.
Because that was well after he was down, but...
It's like he was run down there by Jeremy McFarland there.
Wow. Desert Hills just scored another touchdown on a 75-yard blocked kick return.
You don't hear that one very often,
no,
do you?
No, you don't. And that's actually, according to this, their second defensive touchdown of the night.
Wow.
So they now lead 19-0.
The defense is putting it to them.
Of course, that game also on Scaluzza.com. We have the exclusive rights to 3AA football, and we're kind of enjoying that. We're going to enjoy the trip up to Rice Eccles in a couple of weeks. Get some extra time off my day job, and can't complain.
We've got illegal motion against the Buffaloes.
Just make sure that you're inside.
Well, we'll have to see where we're set up. Because in the past, we've been outside at Rice Eccles to
I
do the
tell you
games,
what,
and that's
I
tough.
love Rice Eccles, but when you're sitting on that cold concrete for a few hours and it's cold or windy, it's cold.
That it is. So penalty here moves it back 5, back to the 43. And it is a final. The Hurricane Tigers have defeated Bear River 38-26.
38-26 Hurricane wins?
Yep.
Wow,
So
that's
it's
a big win for Hurricane.
Good night thus far for the 3AA South. Hand off up the middle. Tooele trying to change the trend here as they get up to the 35-yard line. 3 minutes left. Don't seem to be in a huge hurry.
No, but they do have plenty of time if they're smart.
They do, and the other luxury with the missed extra point is they can get in field goal range and just tie it up and be content with that at the half if they need to.
Go in zeros at the half.
So 2nd down and 7. Brady looking over the defense. Play action, back to pass, flushed out of the pocket. Throws it to the right and incomplete.
Brady Sargent with the pressure.
Good coverage there in the secondary.
Cameron Chalmers with the defense there.
Bringing up 3rd down for the Buffaloes.
Yeah, and he was well covered.
There was no space there.
No. That's why he more or less sort of threw it out of bounds. So that stops the clock with 2:30 left here in the first half. 6-3 ball game for Snow Canyon. So 3rd and 7 from the 35. And a little reverse Spenlove, and they snuffed it out that time.
Sargent was right there.
You notice after those 2 big runs by Spenlove, they've keyed in on him, and they've definitely had a spy on him, I think, with the last 2 carries.
They did. That one there, it looks like they had a blitz on. Sargent came up the middle, and he just put it to him.
So Tooele looks like they have opted to punt. Which, can't blame them. You don't want to go for it, give them the ball near midfield if you're unable to convert. So.
With 2 minutes left in the half.
Looks like this could be
But Tooele, I would think, would probably let the clock run down as far as they can, too. And a whistle. Timeout for the Buffalo.
Takes their 2nd timeout of the half. 1:41 remaining in this contest.
We can keep it here.
Warriors
It's fine.
maintain a 6-3 lead over the Buffaloes.
As I discussed on air with my producer.
Mike said Hurricane won.
Hurricane did win, yeah. 1. So, Hurricane, that means Hurricane next week doesn't have to travel so far. They will be playing Pineview at Pineview High.
In the 3A, 3AA playoffs.
Cedar, let me refresh myself on my bracketology here.
So you're saying that Hurricane would play Pineview next week
Yeah, they play Pineview next week at Pineview High.
because of the bye?
Right.
So, we remember that great football game that just happened about 3 weeks ago with Hurricane and Pineview. It came down to the very last drive.
Yep, it
with
did.
Pineview putting together a nice drive to win that game.
Yep.
Here goes round 2, only in a different venue. So,
And Cedar will travel to Dixie High.
yeah, strap on the boots. Got week 2 coming up, and it's going to be great for the playoffs there also.
A lot better bus trips for those schools
Oh,
next
yeah.
week.
And possibly better weather.
Almost blocked on the punt. An ugly knuckler. Falls into the end zone for the touchback. So Snow Canyon will get the ball back at their own 20
34 remaining in this half. The Warriors will have
with
another
a $134 and a 3-point lead. We'll see how aggressive they choose to get here. I don't know how aggressive I would be at this point. I think I'd be content just taking the lead.
I think wisdom would say just run the ball a couple of times. You break a big one, great. If not, don't take a chance at throwing the ball for an interception.
Sure. I think that is wisdom beyond our years, Dustin.
Beyond the years or beyond our ears, which one?
As long as it's not beyond our rears. Oh, a little motion in the backfield. I don't know why they didn't throw a flag there, but pressure, screen pass, and beautifully played by Tooele to knock it down.
Screen pass tipped at the line by the Buffaloes.
You know, ideally,
Brings up a second down for the Warriors.
you want to slow that down a little bit. You don't want to just let them bull rush. They actually need to play it like it's a run and then let them slide through. That's what pulls those screen passes off. A little too much pressure there.
2nd and 10. Minute 31. Yeah, in Snow Canyon, they're going to a spread here, so they're looking to make something happen. Rigby back to pass. He's pressured and sacked.
Looks like he's limping a little bit coming up that time.
Yeah. So now if you're Tooele, do you take a timeout here?
The Buffaloes. Loss of about 6 on the play.
I'm not sure if they...
Bringing up 3rd.
I'm not sure they have any left, though, frankly. Trying to count in my head how many they've used, but... And this scoreboard is not helping because it doesn't have the little fancy timeout thingy jiggers. So Snow Canyon taking their time here. 50 seconds and counting. Rolling out is Rigby, throws it into the secondary. It's caught at the 32-yard line. That's enough for a first down. That was a nice throw.
I'll have to admit, I'm a little bit surprised they tried throwing it that deep in their end zone with only 45 seconds left. But hey, if you've got confidence in your kids and they can pull it off, more power to you.
I agree. I probably just run it into the line and punt it away and live another day. Where's the stuff flying? Is that from the cheerleaders?
Yeah, they've got a little launcher down here.
Oh, because I kept seeing it fall from so far up. But another screen pass call. Zach Kennedy on the catch. Nothing doing, though. Tooele runs him out of bounds. Only going to pick up a couple.
Rigby's pass complete to Kennedy.
He's out of bounds, but the clock kept running, so that was interesting.
A lot of running for only 2 yards there.
We'll take their 3rd and final timeout of the half with 28.4 remaining till halftime.
Wow, the launcher doesn't have a great deal of aim as they keep launching the T-shirts into the empty portions of the stands. I'm surprised that there's such big gaps in the crowd here. You'd think you'd have a little better turnout, wouldn't you?
I agree with you. I thought with the first round playoff game, team looking really sharp this year, that they would fill the stands, but I'm a little chilly right now myself. Maybe they're just home watching on Scalooza.com.
Well,
Travis,
if they're smart. That's true. Now, our producer Aaron just brought up a good point. People still have the candy hangover from Halloween.
There you go.
So they're recuperating. Some people in rehab for their addiction to candy corn. You have to take these things into account. So 2nd and 8 after the screenplay and the timeout. 28 seconds left. Rigby back to pass, throws it over the middle. He's got a man. Falls incomplete. That's a tough one.
You got to pull those ones in. That ball was right there.
You know, the over-the-shoulder catch is not necessarily easy, but if you're going to play receiver, you got to have the ability to pull that in. So
I was going to say, if you get paid to do that, you need to make the catch, but I guess these guys don't get paid, so it's all right.
Not so much. Well, maybe their dad's cool. I'm like,
hey, I'll give you
every
20
catch
bucks
I'll give you a buck. Take you to Dairy Queen. Or I'll take you to Team D Auto Sales and get you.
There you go. Buy you a new car.
Yeah. Probably depends which part of the boundaries you live in. Rigby flushed out of the pocket, did a great job to stay alive, and dangerous pass, and Brady had a great look at a pick there. And he would have had some, he probably only would have had Rigby to beat if he picks that off too.
That's the scary thing about throwing the football.
So 16 seconds left. The Warriors will punt.
Well defended by the Buffaloes.
Back to kick for the Warriors.
This is an old school football game. This is the defensive hand-to-hand Mortal Kombat.
The Baltimore Colts.
Baltimore.
And the New York Football Giants. Here's the punt. Squibber, nice bounce though, taken at the 29. Not much going though, as it's brought up to the 33. 7 seconds left, and I'm guessing Tooele's, well, it's going to be one of two things, take a knee or Hail Mary.
Josh Parr made a nice little tackle there. You know, I thought I was predicting this game a little bit better by saying that they would run the clock out. I'm not going to say that Tooele is just going to nail on it because it's just a quick, 75 yards there for a touchdown.
Crazier things have happened.
Yes, sir. And they're not.
They're going to heave it.
Nope.
Brady just takes the slide. That's not going to look good for his stats, but it's...
There's some wisdom in that young man.
Yeah, it's the sane choice there, so...
Pressure put on by Nate Godfredson.
That will run out the clock. So our score at the half, 6-3. Snow Canyon with the lead. It's been nip and tuck, though, throughout the first half. A lot of these two teams feeling each other out, and actually some pretty good defense being played on both sides, too.
I think so. I think you're going to see a few adjustments this half. I think on offense especially. I think it's given some time for these guys to look it over up here and see a few things that they can do. I'm impressed. I think that both teams have really strong secondaries there.
Yeah, they've played well, and we've seen some good plays out of both of these defensive lines as well, getting pressure on the quarterback. It's made the throwing game a little bit tricky, and it's been a defensive struggle, as Dustin said. It's been kind of an old school kind of feel to it. We're missing, it's old school in every way other than the leather helmets.
Exactly.
And I remember, okay, no, I don't, but we always had face masks as long as I've been alive. But
yeah,
anyway.
But it's fun to say that we didn't.
Absolutely. So, well, we're going to go ahead and take a break here. I think we're going to watch the festivities for a bit. So I'll leave one mic open. I got a complaint last week that when the Jetettes were out, I turned off the mics. So you can kind of hear the music in the background and you can watch it. And then but we're going to take a little break on the commentary here. And when we come back, we'll bring you the second half of football. Glad to be with you here on Scalooza.com.
Snow Canyon E-Shells. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special treat for you this evening. We'd like you to please give a warm welcome to the visiting Tooele High Marching Band and Majestics, who will be performing for you this evening. The band and the Majestics are under the direction of Marilyn Syra, color guard Tammy Bird. The band and the Majestics had a successful season this year, with many awards, culminating tonight as they were crowned victors in the 2A state championships. Please give a warm warrior welcome to the Tooele High Marching Band under the direction of Field Commander Abby Simpson. Abby, you may now take the field in exhibition.
Back with you here on Scalooza.com. Halftime is winding down, and our score 6-3. Snow Canyon with the halftime lead. Happy to be with you on a getting chillier by the minute night. But we're having a lot of fun up here. So 6-3. We kind of talked about it in the first half, Dustin. Really a kind of I guess the best way to sum it up is a defensive struggle, huh?
Well, I guess you would like to call it defensive, but I hope that it's not just that the offenses weren't executing, because, we saw a lot of passes there that were just either underthrown, overthrown, or not caught.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just little things that need to be done.
They were kind of Taysom Hill the first half of
a little
the season.
Taysom Hill. A little Taysom Hill.
Although he's playing better, so we don't want to take away from him. But no, I mean, you're right. It's a combination of the defensive playing really well, and in an odd way, the offense is being offensive.
Yeah, it's truly that way. And I'm really impressed with some of these linebackers. There's some solid linebackers on both sides of the ball, and that. A good linebacker in high school can a lot of times control the flow of a football game.
Sure.
I've watched a few of the state playoff games up at Rice Eccles, and a lot of the times it's a solid defensive line with a really good linebacker, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see how things continue to transpire, but thus far it's been all about the 3AA South. As we mentioned earlier, Cedar came away with a 23-13 victory at Park City. Hurricane came away with a 38-26 W at Bear River. Two very long bus rides. I mean, from Hurricane to Bear River is about as bad as it gets in the state.
It is definitely bad.
And speaking of bad bus rides, Uinta came all the way down to play Desert Hills. That's a pretty brutal one, from Vernal all the way down to St. George.
I played football in Uinta.
Did you?
That was the coldest, and this is the funny thing. It was our very first football game of the season. It was in September, and I was freezing cold up there. I was only a sophomore, and I got to travel with the varsity. And, of course, I get in on like 2 or 3 special teams plays. So the whole time I spent out there just freezing. But, yeah, I understand that, travel out to Uinta.
Yeah, that's rough. But nonetheless, they are at halftime of their game as well, with Desert Hills up 19-6. So the Utes have at least gotten on the board. So
that's
good for them. But and then in this game, obviously, we've got a 6-3 ball game with Snow Canyon in the lead, but Tooele does get the ball to start the second half. So we'll see what they can put together here on their first opportunity.
And, like we talked, Travis, we'll see if that missed extra point comes up big in this half. You never know.
Yeah, you don't. But we're about to find out. We'll update some of the other scores from around the state throughout the night. How about Corner Canyon? In their very first season, their very first playoff game, playing Spanish Fork, they are up 42-14.
Whoa.
So Corner Canyon. And you do have to give them, Mike made a great point. As much as they are a first-year school, they're pulling, all those kids came from Jordan and Alta. So they had a good talent base to start with.
They really did. But, it's always tough for a first-year program to put itself together, but looks like they've done all right.
Yeah. Just looking in, as we kick off here. Caught at the 10, taken up to the 20, and rounded out at around the 22-yard line. So that's where Tooele will take over, 1st and 10 in their own territory.
Caleb Heward on the tackle.
In that Hurricane game, Cody LeBaron with 107 yards rushing, and Jeremiah Iramia with 95 yards rushing. So sounds like the ground attack worked pretty well up there. But
Hurricane is a scary team if they have more than one running back that's running that well in that system.
Well, the Bear River coach had even said before the game, he said, they're the scariest 1-9 team I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They had a lot of close games and had some talent. So first carry of the second half doesn't do much. We go from talking about good running performances and follow it up with a run into the line. So, but sooner or later there was a handful of big plays in the first half, but nobody really able to cash in a whole lot. Obviously, Snow Canyon cashed in on the big 42-yard run by Horlocker to turn it into a touchdown, but Tooele looking deep. Brady flushed out of the pocket, makes something out of nothing there quickly. He's going to have a first down, and great job on that quarterback sneak.
You know, I'm not sure if those are designated plays like that because he legitimately drops back and looks for somebody and then he takes off. So he either sells it really well or there's just nobody downfield.
You mentioned earlier in the game, you do have to give some credit to Snow Canyon secondary, who's played really well.
Right.
For the most part, they've done a good job in coverage, but
it's kind of hard to account for that.
And flag thrown in the middle of the line, that's usually a hold.
Pace takes that ball up the inside. There is a flag on the play.
Pace was the ball carrier. He had a good regular season. It is holding. Pace had 914 yards rushing, so pretty decent as the main Buffalo there.
Holding penalty, spot yard foul, 10 yards.
Shout out to my cousin Craig, who lives in Tooele. Don't know if he's watching this game or not, but if you are,
go
hey,
Craig.
Go Craig. So clock continues to tick as we're just underway here in the second half of football tonight from Snow Canyon High School.
Oh, not a flag.
More and more.
We've got another flag on the play.
Procedure, they didn't even set up yet, did
No,
they?
no.
What? How did...
Add on another 5.
I don't know how that one worked.
Now, these are the kind of penalties that really hurt you, especially when you come out and you want to build a little momentum.
Yeah, and especially after a big quarterback sneak.
First and forever.
Oh, my goodness. First and 20 for the Buffaloes. Out of the gun, Brady back to pass. Sets up the screen, and it's dropped. How do you drop that one, Dustin?
Looks like he was ready to run before he had it in his hands. We call that one happy feet. Happy feet, no hands.
Yes.
He did have a lot of running room, though, if he'd have caught that thing.
Yeah, but, I mean, that's sort of the first rule. I mean, you don't get to run anywhere unless you catch the ball.
Secure that football.
They finally had it set up perfect, and winds up being 2nd and 20. So Tooele's got to get something going here. 2 receivers wide to the right. Brady scrambles and is hit, taken down at the 22. So not much there, and it's going to be 3rd and very long, and I would be surprised. I'd be surprised at this point to see him try and get it all in one play, but.
Halftime score from Desert Hills. Desert Hills up 19-0.
It's 19-6.
We just heard the update of the Desert Hills game. Uinta.
He's been off on virtually every update, but that's okay. Another false start. Well, when it's 3rd and 20 plus, you might as well throw a little more onto it. Why not?
If I'm the coach for Tooele, I'm a little bit upset the way this first drive is going, excuse me. Because you come out, you want to punch a team in the mouth, try to get a little momentum, and here you are, you're going backwards, and it's kind of counterproductive. Field position-wise.
Sure. And at this point, that's all you can really play for on this drive.
At this point, yeah.
Trying to get some kind of a field position advantage, but you're deep enough, it's probably not going to be great anyway, so. And
right up the middle.
Little counter play doesn't do anything. So it'll be 4th down and a punting situation.
Trevor Horlocker with a nice tackle there.
So Zach Kennedy into return for Snow Canyon. You know, it's not the greatest situation when the returner is set up at the 50.
No.
So the Warriors are definitely going to have good field position here.
You know what I've noticed this half is looks like Snow Canyon is going to put a little bit more pressure up the middle
Another
on the
flag
quarterback.
here. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Oh, goodness.
Against Tooele. So I'm wondering if somebody lined up further back got a little mouthy with the ref or something. And you see him running off the field now.
That's
Boy,
a half.
That's tough.
That is tough, especially when you've already lost the field position game here.
Yeah.
That's going to move him all the way up to about the 40-yard line.
Now, if I'm Snow Canyon, you know you're going to get great field position either way. I might just go for broke and go for the block here.
You don't have much to lose here.
When the punter's got a, he's not able to line up quite as far back as he'd be comfortable with.
Another whistle.
Another whistle. The ref's getting a little greedy here. Let the kids play. Just saying. Not judging.
I think he just wanted to run in and get warm. That's just a personal opinion.
That
The side judge really needed that jog.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird soccer style.
Yeah, not a great punt. Touches a Tooele player at around the 40. And they're going to spot it at the 42. The refs missed the initial touch, but some of the spots have been a little off by a yard or two here or there.
But if you're Snow Canyon, you're going to be excited to get the ball in good field position here.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So 8:30 left here in the third. 6-3, and Snow Canyon definitely in position to add to that. Out of the gun, it's Rigby. Flag again. Holy cow. We should get out of here somewhere around Christmas break at this rate.
I hope Tooele's not driving home tonight. Each one of these flags is just making the drive that much longer.
It's interesting, Mike Butler and I were talking about that, because Uinta's in the same spot, and they both agreed to 7 o'clock games, and it made me think they have to be staying up here tonight.
They must be, because that is a long travel night.
Kennedy on the end around goes down. I mean, that's why the Hurricane game started at 5, because they were coming back. Same with Cedar. There's a lot of games actually tonight, even games that were much closer in distance than the ones we're talking about that started at 3, 4, 5 o'clock. So
well, that becomes an expensive night if you need to travel and spend the night. I mean, you consider each football team's probably got around 40, 50 kids.
So 2nd and 15, Rigby with the pitch, and another flag. Holy cow.
Another penalty.
Looks like we got a false start again.
I'm going to shut up.
I think the kids are just a little excited to get going this half. They need to settle down and remember what they're doing here.
Sometimes I think these slight little ticky-tack things, I think the refs sometimes need to remember that it's not all about them.
Turn the other cheek. Is that where we're going?
Yeah, something. Because there's some people up here that are freezing our cheeks off.
There you go.
2nd and 20. Back to pass. Rigby heaves it deep. He's got a man wide open. It's Kennedy to the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Warriors!
Wow. He was so wide open, I think I could have thrown the football to him.
52-yard touchdown from Warner Rigby to Zach Kennedy. And yeah, you're right. Zach Kennedy, I mean, he had enough time to go run and get a hot chocolate, drink it, come back on the field, and still make that catch.
He did. Great play, though. It looked like the guys in the secondary got a little confused as to who was going to go with him on the outside, and nobody did. So Hey, great play.
And that's heartbreaking for Tooele when you're
Jenkins.
down in distance. You know, they've got 20 yards to get the first down, and then to just heave it in one play. Boy,
Carey with the hold.
extra point, no good once again.
Wow.
And it is wide.
They're having a rough time with that tonight.
Yeah.
7:43
So it's
remaining in this
12-3.
quarter.
We keep the
Warriors extend their lead
sort of lopsided
12-3
baseball score.
over the Buffaloes.
That's kind of like a Boston-St. Louis game.
Yeah,
just
that's what
saying.
that's certainly what it seemed to turn into in a couple of those games, huh?
That's a
But-
big poppy grand slam right there.
Congratulations to the Red Sox. I'm sure they're watching our game tonight.
Just Dustin Pedroia.
He's got nothing else going on.
Yeah, he's my boy.
Is he?
No.
You fathered Dustin Pedroia.
Well, he does have my name.
Yes. Well, that's true. Dustin Jr.
Rumor has it he does have a home in southern Utah here.
Really?
That's rumor.
Yeah.
Don't go too far with
there's
that.
a lot of rumors like
let's
that,
not
but-
spread that one too far.
No. Stick to the legit famous people
Yeah.
that have homes down here.
We know there's more than one Walmart here, so we're good with that. I'll tell you what I do know.
That's good. That's solid knowledge.
That is solid.
That's stuff you can use day to day at least.
Yes.
So a short kick taken at the 15 and brought up to about the 29-yard line. So Tooele takes over one more time, and it kind of feels like from a momentum standpoint, Tooele really needs to have a drive where they do something. They at least need to run some clock, get some yards, move the chains a few times to try to at least get
A little field position, huh?
Yeah, even if they don't get points, they've got to do something to get a little bit of momentum going because it's, I think, right now heavily on Snow Canyon's side.
Hey, look, Snow Canyon came out and did exactly what they needed to do on the first drive of the second half, and it kind of puts Tooele in a bad position right here.
Handoff on the dive play is going to pick up about 5 or 6. Up to the 35-yard line.
For the Buffaloes.
This drive's going to be a bit of a gut check for Tooele. I think you're right. I think they really need to get something going on this drive. Otherwise, this could become a long night.
Oh, absolutely. Second down. Handoff once again. Not much there. Kind of leaned forward and picked up a couple.
Ooh,
So it's going to be 3rd and about 2 when a flag comes in late.
need to be careful.
Was there a little shoving in the
A
pile?
little anger there. Looks like that was actually Brady Sargent they grabbed, I believe.
Personal foul on Snow Canyon. That's huge.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he kind of lost his cool there. Took a half swing at somebody there. He needs to be careful because they can't afford to lose him in the middle there. That coach is pulling him off the side here for a minute.
Probably smart. I mean, you can get ejected throwing a punch, so
Ball will be spotted inside Warrior territory.
you'd hate to see
47-yard line.
a player that influential on this defense get thrown out of the game. That'd be a tough one. So they move into Snow Canyon territory on the penalty.
Ooh, nice run on the outside.
Big one for Ryan Brady as he gets across the 40 to the 39-yard line. Got an 8-yard carry.
Gain of about.
And it seems like Tooele does quite a bit better on the perimeter than up the gut, don't they? I mean, it's not like you can't stop running it up the middle because you use that to set up the perimeter plays, but they definitely have moved the ball much better, I think, on the outside. So this time it is up the middle, though, and it'll be a first down carry up to the 34-yard line.
Pace with the carry up the middle.
You know, I think right there you just notice how important it is to have Sargent there in the middle to fill those holes. He's just a solid linebacker. You know, when you're running the ball up the middle, your linebacker usually takes the brunt.
Yes, he does.
Tooele is blocking better. They're firing off the ball. They're doing exactly what they needed to do this drive with the help of that penalty.
Brady rolls out, throws off the hands of his intended receiver, but that was a tough one. It was thrown behind him, and the receiver, I think he did a really good job to adjust and even get his hands on it as off as that was thrown. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Give Tooele credit, their fans, they've actually filled up about half of the stands. That's a long drive.
That is a great traveling team right there.
So, yeah, we talked
Kudos
earlier.
to their fans.
Sure, yeah, we talked earlier about the level of support they get in their community, and it's really one of the places that we've traveled to over the years that I've been really impressed with. So, hand off to Spendlove. Tried to break it outside, cuts back in, and gets about a yard. So 3rd and 9. And once again, Tooele gets into one of those difficult, long 3rd down situations that they don't want to have.
Short gain on the play, 3rd down.
You know, I really love to see the fans follow their high schools, even in years where they don't feel like they're as good as they have been in the past. These kids really need it. They work hard, just as hard as in their winning years, and so it's great to see them.
Brady rolls out, pressured, and he's sacked. Horlocker with the sack, and that was a huge play because it, you know, if you're Tooele, you're kind of looking at 4-down territory there, but now they're pushed back into another punting situation, but they moved the ball a little bit, and now they can hopefully play the field position game.
Hopefully they can get a good kickoff here.
You don't want to see another 16-yard net punt.
Or a 50-yard return.
Right. So Zach Kennedy is back deep once again. Kick, Knuckler, it bounces at the 19.
Ooh, they're going to pin him deep.
Yeah, it takes a nice bounce down to the 7-yard line.
4:31 remaining in this
So
quarter.
that's a much better special team situation than last time we saw that same setup. So Tooele will take that, I'm sure.
Right. They can't be baited into something stupid, though. They need to be very careful back in here because this is where those big plays or those big screens kind of kill you because you put a lot of pressure on up the middle. And
well, by the same token, if you're Snow Canyon, you know, you might get a little conservative here because a
right.
pick can turn into 6 points real fast down here.
Right.
Heaved once again, got him in, it's caught to the 40, the 50, one man to beat. He's past him, he is gone! 93 yards! Touchdown, Snow Canyon, Chance Thorkelson.
We've got a flag down here at about the 45-yard line. I'm not sure what they've got here.
I'm not either.
I didn't see anything that
all I
looked
saw
out
was a
of the order.
missed tackle.
There must have been something outside of the play here a little bit that didn't have much to do with it. But this was a great run here. A little bit rough on the tackle.
So we'll see what the Snow Canyon players are happy, but
touchdown.
Touchdown will stand.
Thanks for throwing another flag, though. Glad to slow this game down even more.
Well, when you throw it that many times, your pocket's just loose, and it probably just fell out.
Could be. Or maybe he blew his nose and dropped it.
There you go.
You know, you never know.
Hey, great play. We just talked about it. Those great big plays over the top or the screen plays, those are the kinds that kill you. Smart play from Snow Canyon to go after it.
And we haven't said the name Chance Thorkelson all night, and I'm sure he's plenty content with us calling his name on that one.
Ah, that was an awesome play.
I was impressed with his speed there.
He turned it on.
So, 93-yard touchdown pass. Oh, my goodness. Come on. Yeah, we know it's good. These refs are really irritating me a lot. Okay, I need to be more diplomatic. Yes, I'm sure they're fine men. Here's Connor Perry on the two-point try, and no good. That play looked kind of doomed from the start, but
Connor Perry on that extra point.
Yeah.
18-3.
4:18 remaining in this quarter.
Well, the momentum's really shifted here in the third quarter. A couple of big plays. I tell you what, the Buffalo secondary needs to really pick it up. They need to cover a little bit tighter on those deep balls.
Yeah, they do. They've been beaten deep a couple of times now, and it's one thing. I think if it's 18-3, and you've kind of been beaten down by solid long drives where you've just been beaten at the line of scrimmage and they've, the other team executes over a long period of time. But to get beaten on a couple of plays, that's the stuff that haunts you.
Oh, for years.
The whole off season, you just think about, man, we lost it because of 2 plays, That stuff drives you bonkers.
Oh, those big plays are terrible. But we had that personal foul there. There was a dead ball foul, so they assessed it here on the kickoff. So they should get fairly decent position here again. Listening to a little MC Hammer here. I'm just waiting for Travis to bust out his best running man.
I would, but I'm nervous the press box will tip over. This thing is so wobbly.
This is a wobbly press box.
We were at Dixie High last week, and it's much more sturdy. So an ugly kick, but taken at the 25, up across the 40, and taken down at about the 42. So Tooele has decent field position here.
Another flag.
Oh my goodness. We might as well look up the world record now, because I think that's what they're going for. World record for flags thrown.
No, there was no flag. He picked it up. He must have heard you. It was special.
Here's the snap. Handoff up the middle. Had a little bit of space, but Snow Canyon's defense kind of converges. Takes it up to the 40, near the 48-yard line. Horlocker on the tackle. It's getting into the cooler part of the fall/winter area when you look up at the lights and there's only a handful of bugs. The rest have either died or they're in chili.
Oh man, chili. Hopefully they've died.
Yeah. Handoff left side up to the 50. What's the weather like in Argentina this time of year, Dustin?
It would be getting warm.
Oh, yeah?
Because we start heading into the summer season here. They're just going into their spring. So, yeah, it was really funny because I flew down there in December and had a trench coat on. I was freezing cold, came out of 2 feet of snow in Salt Lake. Get down there, and it was probably 90 degrees.
Really?
Yeah, it was very humid.
That's a nice change.
So, yeah, we looked a little out of place in trench coats.
Brady picks up the first down, about a 3-yard run on what looked like a broken play. But nonetheless, Tooele moves the chains. So 1st and 10 from inside Warrior territory, from inside Warrior territory. Still plenty of time left if you're Tooele. I mean, still got a couple of minutes left here in the third and an entire fourth quarter to go, so.
I mean, you're looking at three extra points missed.
Sure. Play action, Brady back to pass, throws it, dumps it off and completed. It's going to pick up about 9 yards. Really, we haven't seen a lot of success in the passing game for Tooele. Their best success in the passing game has been the broken plays where they've been able to scramble and turn it into positive yardage. But
we talked a little bit about some of these things before the game, how Snow Canyon wasn't a huge passing team, but look what's happening. They found a niche there on that deep ball.
Well, they hadn't been, but they hadn't had Warner Rigby all year either. Big play here out on the right side. It's Ryan Brady up to the 20-yard line, so a first down, and Tooele cooking with gas now. That's only their second trip into the red zone of the night. Of course, their first trip, they got the field goal. So in scoring position once again.
You bring up a pretty good point. They didn't have Rigby for a few weeks there. You wonder how their season might have evolved with a quarterback who could open up the pass a little bit.
Sure. First down carry gets about a yard, so it'll be 2nd and 9.
Short gain on the play.
It's a nice clear night, though. We'll say that. We had some lousy weather at the beginning of the week. For those of you up north that are watching, 50, 60 mile an hour winds and rain on Monday was what we had, and it was not a lot of fun. But,
Cedar was probably happy to travel.
they may well have been.
They're one of the few southern schools that are probably happy to travel to northern Utah.
Left-hand side, and Brady takes a huge pop, loses about a half a yard. Although Park City is no peach this time of year either.
No, that's true.
I don't know, are the ski resorts open yet?
I haven't heard.
Yeah. I don't know, I don't ski. I've never been skiing in my life.
You know, it's been a long time, and I don't know that I would dare. I went a couple of years ago with the youth group. They said, hey, you need a snowboard. So I jumped on a snowboard. Last time I'll ever snowboard.
Brady! Oh! The pass was tipped.
Ooh.
Almost picked off, but somehow the receiver able to pull it in, and Tooele goes from disaster to 1st and goal.
Had that one been picked, he would have been 80 yards the other way.
Yes, he would have.
Brady's pass is complete.
Oh, football is a interesting and fun game with lots of interesting bounces. That's certainly one of them. Carry up the gut. Picks up a couple.
Pace the ball carrier.
They mark him down. Looks like at about the 1.5.
Yard line.
And one thing I never do is say, it drives me nuts when commentators say, the 1.5 yard line. There's no such thing.
3.
There is if you make one.
Warriors lead.
Which you don't.
3. Over the
Anyway, end of the 3rd quarter. We will be back 18-3 Warriors on Scaluzza.com. Back with you on Scaluzza.com as we head to the 4th quarter at Snow Canyon High with the Warriors holding an 18-3 lead, but the Buffaloes in scoring position. Brady over
What's
the
the
left-hand
sign?
side,
Touchdown.
into the end zone. That is a
So,
touchdown.
finally, Tooele crossing the goal line, and it's Jake Brady pushing it across, making it 18-9. Now, it's interesting. Why wouldn't you go for 2 here? If you make it 18-11, it's a one-score game.
You're right. I guess they're assuming that they're going to have another opportunity. Ooh, man, that was a great recovery by the
And it's blocked anyway.
holder, and it was blocked. That ball just took way too long to get down to the ground. The snap was way high.
Yeah. It was doomed from the start, but again, my philosophy is sort of you don't go for 2 until you have to. I think a lot of schools and teams kind of shoot themselves in the foot by going for it way too early just because they're off 1. But
You're right.
they haven't moved the ball that well tonight. That was their first really, really good drive, and I think you got to take them while you can. And if it's 18-11, that's a 1-touchdown game. But I guess it's the same. If
You
they
would
make it there,
think
but
on the road, but I guess
I
their
don't know.
thinking is they're going to have plenty of time to get the ball back a couple of times. I mean, yeah, 11, and
I
then you're
guess
down a touchdown.
The reality is, I suppose, if they make the extra point, they're still in a position to get a touchdown
Right.
or 2. So
Right.
my math was probably off, and I overreacted, and I severely apologize, and I'm embarrassed. Apologize to my family, my coworkers. Aaron's just shaking his head. Texting his wife right now saying, what am I doing here?
These morons.
Need to rethink my life.
Ooh.
Ball is loose on the onside
Ooh.
kick attempt, but Snow can't.
It's
well,
still loose.
It's
I
still
don't know.
loose.
Boy, that thing squirted around for a while.
It did. But Snow Canyon, I think, was definitely caught off guard by it. And that was a good call, I thought.
That was a great call.
Caught me off guard.
In fact, I think it might have caught Tooele off guard that it worked so well.
That's true. They had a good 2 or 3 opportunities to jump on it.
That was a great onside kick.
Yeah, it was.
Had velocity and bounced high.
So, 1st and 10 Warriors. Handoff, it's Connor Perry picking up about 4 yards.
Gain of about 4 on the play for Perry. 2nd down, Warriors.
Yes, Mike would have loved that. He's always screaming for the onside kick.
Is he? Mike's
Yes.
a big fan of the
Yes.
onside, huh?
He thinks every
play
kickoff
should
be
be
an
a-
onside kick.
Good for Mike.
Rolling out.
Ooh, little shovel
dangerous
pass.
play.
Incomplete. That's a
Yeah,
pass.
that's gotta be
Yeah,
incomplete.
It's a forward pass.
Shuttle pass incomplete.
But boy, that was risky. Wasn't a bad call, just kind of a risky throw. When you get penetration on the defensive line, and you just can't throw that.
Incomplete pass.
Well,
just
you
gotta
know it's
kinda
not
tuck
going
it.
anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
So you just tuck it and you run and get whatever you can out of it. But
Or
so
just
now-
shovel it to the ground, huh?
yeah. So 3rd and 6.
Reverse.
Handoff going nowhere, and a 3 and out for Snow Canyon. Boy,
Kennedy on the misdirection.
Ooh, we got a flag.
Small loss on the play for him. Late flag comes in.
gotta wonder what that is. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike
Ooh, on
Tooele.
Tooele. That's a killer.
Buffaloes.
That, wow.
Ooh, those kind of penalties hurt you. They had them stopped in a 4th down and long.
Yeah, if you're Tooele, there's nothing you can say there, but you shot yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Or they are the Buffaloes. They shot themselves in the hoof.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike penalty against the Buffaloes. 15-yard penalty.
I'm just glad that you're absolutely correct.
Territory. That is enough for a Warrior 1st down.
Absolutely correct.
I know somebody would have called and said, hey, wait a minute. We don't have feet.
That's true. Huge hole up the
Oh.
middle. He is gone. Connor Perry from 47 yards out. And the Warriors, boy, how big is that penalty now?
Oh, those kind make you sick.
Oh, the Tooele coaching staff's going to be thinking about that one the whole off season. That is a dagger.
But on the flip side, big hole, great run.
On the board for the Warriors. They will go for 2.
So Snow Canyon going for the deuce once again. Haven't looked too good in the kicking game tonight, so. Rigby trying to make something happen, and he is just about murdered back there.
You know,
That's rough.
minus a handful of big plays, there hasn't been a whole lot happen. I'm not kidding. Tooele's defense has really been fairly solid, except for they keep giving that 1 or 2 big plays
Yeah.
that really hurt them, and
Right.
the penalties. We talked about those
Yeah.
early.
No, you're right. So 24-9. Boy, you get enough missed extra points and the score almost looks normal.
3 touchdowns and a field goal, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So, a crazy night. But it's definitely looking more and more like, we talked about in 5A how Region 1 went 0 for 4, and it's looking like the 3A North is going to go 0 and 4 tonight. I'll take a gander and see if we get an update on the Desert Hills Uinta game as well.
So if you're Pineview and Dixie this week, would you rather have a bye going into a big playoff game, or would you rather play and keep the momentum going?
It's tough. I think, well, here's the kickoff. We'll talk about it here in a moment. Juggled.
Oh.
Finally.
Oh.
Recovered by Snow Canyon. Oh, boy. 3 consecutive plays in a row where Tooele has just killed themselves. That's unfortunate. Wow. What do you say there? That's just painful to watch.
That is. I hope Tooele is not checking out here. There's still a lot of football to play.
Desert Hills up 27-7 in their game.
Ooh.
Perry snuffed out in the backfield. Big loss.
Hammered in the backfield by a couple of Buffaloes. Number 58, Maka Kiowa. And number 32.
So about a 6 or 7 yard loss there is going to make it second and very long. Yeah, you know, you mentioned the bye week thing. For Dixie, I don't think it's probably a big deal. And especially because...
Boy, the snap's been on the ground. The last,
somehow making something out of nothing in a huge gain. Wow.
Talk about a broken play. That was it.
Yeah, it was broken, but they fixed it real
Yeah,
quick,
they
didn't
fixed
they?
it.
So on 2nd and 16, they pick up about 14. So you'll take broken plays like that anytime you can get them, right?
I almost think that was a trick play. They did that twice in a row, just snapped it on the ground.
So timeout Warriors. We'll take a quick one here as well. 24-9 Warriors on Scaloo. Back with you. Thanks once again to all of our sponsors for bringing this game to you tonight. 3rd and 2 for Snow Canyon. And a nice play breaking through past the 10-yard line to about the 7, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Warriors. Yeah, we talked about, keep getting cut off here, but we keep getting cut off by the game. You talk about the bye weeks. I don't think it's a big deal for Dixie or Pineview, really, because of the way things played out. They're both facing teams they've played before.
True.
So it's not like they're going to be surprised by what's coming. And Cedar and Hurricane probably have the 2 most predictable offenses just because they've been doing it for so long in the region. But I think it's probably a bigger deal for Pineview because if you look at how the schedule broke down, with 7 teams in the region, everybody had a bye week. Pineview's bye week was the last week of the regular season.
So they've
been
2
off
weeks.
2 weeks.
Now 3.
Yeah. So that'll be 3 weeks since they had played. So that
Here's my thing. I see a lot of teams come out a little sluggish at the start when they have layoffs.
Sure.
Even 1 week for a bye, and they have a hard time recovering if they have a bad start.
Handoff, not much there. Good job by the Tooele defense. Loss of about a yard. So it'll be 3rd and goal from the 4 now.
Perry on the carry, brought down.
Well,
Yeah.
I can tell you this, the Hurricane Pineview game is going to be rocking and
Yeah,
rolling
that'll be a
because
fun one.
it's one that the Hurricane kids really get up for every year. They really enjoy playing Pineview and vice versa.
Sure, sure.
So it's going to be a great football game.
High snap, pitch in the flat, turn in the corner, touchdown, Connor Perry!
Touchdown.
And that one is going to, I think, seal this up for Snow Canyon, wouldn't you say?
I would think so.
30-9.
Score of the evening.
You know, I think Tooele's a little deflated, and Snow Canyon's starting to enforce their will. I mean, the blocking, they're getting penetration, which they weren't getting earlier. It's a sign of a good football team.
It really is. So they will try and kick it here. Kick is up. Kick is good!
It is good.
The extra point goes through, and the crowd goes wild.
31.
That's a major victory right there. That could come in handy next week.
Wow. As you can see on the screen, this press box really shakes, and it knocks our clock way out of whack. But
Midway through the 3rd quarter over at Desert Hills extends their lead 34-7.
I guess they're dancing in the box below us. This is one of the most amazing. It's almost like a massage up here.
the most entertaining part of this game is Aaron's face every time the press box shakes. He's got to fix the clock cam.
He's trying to find the mad bouncer up here, and it's just not happening.
Next week, join us to find out if Aaron brings a tranquilizer gun to the game. So another squib kick picked up by Tooele. Decent return brought up to the 46-yard line. So they'll start with decent field position, but it's a little too late at this point.
Yeah, number 44, Big Nate Reynolds, kind of had a little bit of a fumble on the last one, but he made up for it this time.
So 1st and 10 from their own 46-yard line for the Buffaloes. Handoff right-hand side. And dropped for a loss of about a yard and a half.
Ryan Brady on the carry.
Kind of tough at this point if you're Tooele. I mean, maybe you know you're going to lose, but kind of tough to just start running.
Yeah, you want to see them still play their game. I mean,
well, you just think down this much, maybe they air it out a little more, but
you would
who
hope.
knows?
You never know.
Brady back to pass, rolling to his right, and hit and sacked.
Wow.
Trevor
Horlocker with a big hit.
Horlocker's had a heck of a game.
He really has.
He's he's been solid. He's had a couple of big plays on offense and some good, solid hits on defense. And
You know what's setting up a lot of his defensive plays are the great play of the secondary. There's just nowhere to go. So he's just kind of like a duck running around back there on the pond. He's getting picked off.
yeah, we've got an injured player. Is it Brady?
Can't tell.
He was the man who was hit.
It is Brady.
It is Brady. So he'll come off the field. So 3rd down and 15. Ball back at the 42-yard line now. And a reverse.
Ooh.
Little hole for a second, but it closed quickly, and they do no better than getting back to the line of scrimmage, and Tooele will be forced to punt once again.
Guess who made that tackle also? That was a nice form tackle.
Horlocker?
No. That was Brady Sargent.
Oh. The other guy we've been calling.
Those two, I tell you what, have played a solid football game in the middle.
Yeah, they really have. Credit where credit's due.
Down 650. Down 650.
Got a clock adjustment to be made here.
650.
You can probably hear the coaching staffs yelling at what the clock's supposed to read.
Some clock difficulties right now. The clock will not start. Trying to fix that up for you.
Having some clock issues here. Just announced the clock will not start. We're going to go back to the old school. We're going to see a ref run around with a stopwatch.
Yes. I think the problem is they thought this game was already over, so they were trying to set the clock an hour back already so that next week they didn't have to worry about it.
We do have the time change on Sunday,
That's right, folks.
Don't forget to set your clock
when
back.
When it's 31-9 in the fourth quarter, you start talking about daylight savings and the pros and cons and why does it still exist? No one really knows. It was something that was invented a long time ago and really has no bearing on our society now. Thanks. This public service announcement brought to you by solely me.
I can handle the spring and the summer. But this winter stuff can go. You know, we live in the desert, and I still like my heat. I'm a little desert baby.
I hate the heat, but
you know,
that's me. But I have to work in it, you know.
That's true. You're outside in it a lot.
A long time, every day.
Every day.
Every day for 12, 13 hours.
Yeah.
Makes a man bitter.
And sunburnt.
Yes. And the clock is fixed, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if we can start it and get on with this punt, that would be awesome. Oh, I tell you.
What's he? The ref's calling for something else now.
You know, I might as well just start telling stories now, right?
Sure.
We talked about the onside kick earlier, and I've talked about this with Mike before, but Dustin, are you familiar with the high school football coach in Arkansas and his theory with onside kicks?
No.
Kind of an interesting guy as Tooele gets set to punt here.
Did you say Alaska?
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
So it's actually a place where they play some good football.
I was going to say, if it was Alaska, I could probably understand. The ball is probably like a rock.
I think they only have 8-man football in Alaska, but yeah, there's a coach in Arkansas, and he has won state titles with this formula. Does not have a place kicker on his team, does not have a punter on his team. No matter what, the down and distance, he goes for it. They actually, he's at times had criticism. There was a state championship game inside of his own 10 on 4th and 20, and he went for it.
Wow.
He just plays the percentages, and he just says, your percentages are so much better if you try to get a first down in 4 downs than in 3.
Yeah. As long as you don't have 20 yards to go, I would agree.
But he said it rarely hurts them.
Huh. Now, did he lose that state playoff game?
No, he won it.
Wow.
And he does not, even when they score, they always go for 2. When they kick off, they don't have a kicker. They onside kick it every single time.
Wow.
So they have a number of different onside kick plays. But
Arkansas. Huh?
Yeah, and they're a pretty successful team. There was a big write-up a couple of years ago in ESPN the magazine about him. So.
Do you recall his name?
No, Coach.
Coach. Well, that's an interesting philosophy.
Yeah.
I mean,
It is. I would be fascinated to see that play out somewhere around here. That'd be kind of fun to watch.
Kind of takes all the strategy out of football right there.
Well, or does it? It just changes it. It makes
Well,
it different.
I guess you're right.
First and a lot. Back to pass, heaving it
Ooh,
deep.
did
Kennedy
he catch that?
with an
That
incredible
is
catch.
an amazing catch.
Holy guacamole.
That was a one-handed stab.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I know we've seen some big plays. That is the Team D Auto Sales play of the game.
That was
an incredible catch.
That was a big-time grab there.
That was phenomenal. I guess we can also start talking about who our State Bank of Southern Utah player of the game is going to be. Got some interesting choices. Zach Kennedy certainly in the mix, not just because of that catch, but he had a nice long touchdown catch. And
You know, for our quarterback,
Connor
Snow
Perry,
Canyon,
yeah,
I mean, his first game back, they were talking about it on the radio with him this morning. They weren't sure how well he would be, how much they would play him. And man, I don't think there's much rust on this kid.
No.
He came out and played a great game.
well, he didn't start off gangbusters. I
No.
mean, some of his passes early on
A little
were
off.
But he, you know, I think you're onto something there. I think he's probably who you'd lean towards.
Yeah, I think here in the second half,
Kennedy once again breaks through the line. He's got a hole on the perimeter. He's got a first down and more. Brought down out of bounds at the 39-yard line.
Around the 34-yard line.
Snow Canyon's turning this into a bit of a track meet now.
Yeah.
Gain on the play. And that's enough for
So,
another Warrior.
Big
You know,
first
on
down.
defense, too, if you want to look at it on a defensive side of the ball, there's 2 or 3 players. We've called Horlocker quite a few times,
And Sargent.
and Sargent.
And Horlocker had that big run that set up the first touchdown, too.
Yeah, he
So,
did.
out of the gun. Rigby hands it off. Big hole up the middle.
There he
it's
is, right
Horlocker
there.
again. Touchdown Warriors from
Right on
34
cue.
yards out.
Right on cue.
Yeah.
Trevor Horlocker on the 34-yard touchdown run.
37-9.
You know, if you didn't watch the first half, you'd think this game was a blowout the whole game.
Yeah, you would, and it's certainly turned into that in the second half. But yeah, if you'd look at this score and been told that and didn't see it, and know that Snow Canyon only had 6 points at the half, yeah, you'd be scratching your head at how this happened. But
It all came down to a few big plays.
extra point is good.
It is good.
So 38-9.
Now 5:07 left in this game. Warriors take a 38-9 lead over the Buffaloes.
Here we go again.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm helping or hurting. I'm trying to hold the railing still, and we're wobbling either way. Aaron's just throwing his hands up at this point. Good grief.
Yeah, you know, one thing, Travis, though, that I've been impressed with this half is you can really tell, you know, where the coaching staffs go in and they really do their homework and they make some adjustments. They see some weaknesses possibly in the defenses, and you got to give credit to Snow Canyon's coaches. They came out and made a few changes in their play calls, and it's turned out pretty good.
Yeah, it really has. So another squib kick, picked up at the 28, up to the 35, maybe the 37. So 5 minutes left, and Tooele will take over once again. I wonder if the press box is shaking so much. Have we seen if are they filming an episode of The Biggest Loser? Did they go on remote from?
Either that or I'm shivering.
It's not far from here.
No,
For
we're
people up north that don't know, that's just a few miles away
Fitness
from here.
Ridge.
Yeah.
Fitness Ridge.
So, see what Tooele's got up their sleeve here. Are they going to fling the ball around or just try and run the clock out and get on the bus? And head for higher ground. Handoff right-hand side, kind of squeezing up the middle. Nice little 6-7 yard carry. Ball carrier that time is J.D. Ferruta.
J.D. Ferruta. Gain of about 6 on the play. Second down.
He wants to get on the bus and have some Ferruta snacks.
Ferruta? Weak. Weak.
Well, you know. This is what I come up with at this point in the game. Handoff left side. Ooh, big
he was
hit.
Dumped.
Ferruta might have a first down, though. I think he does. They moved the chains.
Trevor Horlocker on that stop.
Sargent comes off the field once again.
There was another tackle by Horlocker there. I tell you what, that kid's been all over the place tonight.
Handoff right-hand side. Little bit of space, only picks up about a yard. Gunnar Clegg on the carry.
Clegg on the carry, brought down nicely by Heward.
Now I'm looking at the roster for Tooele. They're fairly young.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like they're going to return a lot of their players next year. So they should be really solid, you know.
Yeah.
This is a good experience for them to come here and taste a little playoff atmosphere.
Yeah, and, you know, both of these schools really, I mean, Snow Canyon's had a bit more success recently, but even saying that, both of these squads, neither one of them have been in the playoffs since 2006.
Right.
So it's been a while for both.
Brings up third down for the Buffaloes.
But keep this in mind, and it's played out. For Snow Canyon, they have never lost a playoff game at home. They will move to 11-0 all time at home.
That's pretty impressive
Yeah,
stat.
it is. Carry left-hand side. It's Ferruta once again. Gets another first down.
Uh-oh.
Ferruta with the
I believe I'm sick of this thing shaking.
gain of about 10 on the play. It's enough for a Tooele first down.
And why are you doing the I believe that we will win chant when it's 38-9 with less than 3 minutes left? We kind of
Well, let me
know.
put it this way. Would you rather do it before the game and lose, or would you rather do it
Well,
when you know for sure that you're
But
going
it's
to win?
believe,
Oh, okay.
you know. Nice run by Ferruta. Is going to pick up another first down.
Followed his lineman there.
Ferruta on the carry again. Brought down by Carr.
Sort of like if you make it into heaven and you've been there for like a few millennia and say, I think I'll make it.
I think.
I have faith.
I have faith. I believe.
So 1st and 10 from the Warrior 28. Handoff once again. Not much on this carry. Couple. So for Snow Canyon, they get to make the journey to Juan Diego. So that'll be interesting. Our second round matchups, that will be, you know, first on the list. Stansbury will host Desert Hills. Those two squads played earlier this year at Stansbury, and Desert Hills came away with the victory and a flag as there was 12 men on the field.
Now that football game against Stansbury, was that not at Desert Hills this year?
No, it was at Stansbury,
Reynolds, the ball carrier for the Buffaloes.
I believe.
You may be correct.
I'll double check. I've got time, right?
It seems to me, just for some reason, that Desert Hills had their first 3 or 4 games at home this year.
I'll double check
But
it.
I am possibly wrong. It would not be the first time that I am wrong.
What was it, back 84?
84, yeah. I made a couple of guesses.
It was
there.
84 when he voted for Walter Mondale.
Yeah,
That turned out
yeah.
so good.
See what happens? I think I was watching Cyndi Lauper videos then, too.
Well, girls do just want to have fun.
I tell you.
And it's always easier when Captain Lou Albano is around.
Substitution against the Warriors on
I'm almost ashamed to say that I watched The Love Boat.
Don't be ashamed.
They were cool people.
Isaac and Gopher.
Yeah.
These guys knew what was
Anybody
up.
with the name of Gopher's got to be cool.
Yeah. And you had that.
Fantasy Island.
It was back to back. I was going to say with Fantasy Island.
Boss, the plane.
You do a pretty good Twiggy there. That's good work.
Tattoo, you mean?
Tattoo. See how long it's been?
Twiggy.
Twiggy, what's that from?
Looks like Tyler.
Help me out.
I'm trying to think.
Help my
I remember Tweaky from Battlestar Galactica.
Twiggy.
Remaining in this contest.
There was Lenny and Squiggy. That was Laverne
That's
and
Laverne and
Shirley.
Shirley.
Down the south end of the track.
Tweaky sounds like a guy with like a marijuana problem, frankly.
maybe it's a show they showed in high school. Don't do this.
Yeah. Object lesson. So Snow Canyon takes over on downs.
On a fumble recovery.
Oh, was it a fumble recovery?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought, okay. My bad.
It's easy to get sidetracked thinking about the Love Boat.
4 yards in, second down for the Warriors.
Somebody has been screaming all night, and their future spouse is going to have a rough time of it. That is a painful shriek.
Get it out now.
Second down and long, a flag thrown into the middle of the stack of folks.
Cameron Chalmers on the carry. Flags do come in on that play.
So the other two matchups will be, as we mentioned, Hurricane at Pineview, and Dixie will be hosting Cedar.
The holding call
So
against the Warriors. 10 yards off now. Remaining second down.
yeah, that Desert Hills Stansbury game from earlier in the year, Desert Hills won it 12-0. It was the very first game of the year.
So it was a fairly close
And
game.
you're right,
for
Dustin, it was at Desert Hills.
It just seemed to me like Desert Hills had a pretty nice schedule there the first 3 or 4 weeks, and then they had some road games there.
Well, credit where credit's due.
Now, Dixie and Cedar, how did that game go? That was at Cedar.
Let's see here.
It seems like it was a couple of touchdown win for
probably more than
Dixie.
that.
Yeah. You know, Cedar has a pretty solid defense, but it seemed like they got pretty beat up there for a while.
And Dixie won 41-0.
41-0.
So I would say they have the edge.
Yeah.
And that's going to wrap things up for us at Snow Canyon High School. Our final score, 38-9, and the Warriors move on to face the Soaring Eagle of Juan Diego next week. We're glad to have you with us. Again, we want to give a shout out and hope that you utilize this weekend to take advantage of the great services offered by Hinton Burdick CPAs, the law office of Brad Haar, State Bank of Southern Utah, and Team D Auto Sales. It's been a fantastic night. Thanks to Dustin for being with us. I'm Travis Brunstead. Thanks for following Scalooza.com. We'll see ya.
Thank you for your